Hey guys, welcome back to Hot New Homes DFW. I'm Jerissa, your favorite DFW realtor. So, welcome back to part 2 of my mini series to help you home buyers get prepared to purchase a home here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Okay? Today we're going to talk about a home buyer to-do list. Okay? Number 1, the first thing that you ought to be doing if you're trying to purchase a home will be to save down payment, save your closing costs, save money for escrow, for insurance and taxes. Your down payment is normally 3.5% of the sales price of the home, and your closing cost is normally it can range about 1%, but that includes a couple of fees that can be. Hey, I want to jump in really quick to let you know that kind of a little bit of an error. So, closing costs, you're saving for closing costs. It's not 1%, it's about 3% of the sales price. That equals your closing costs, okay? Which, like I say, can be paid by the seller. If you working with me, gotcha. Now, back to the video. Paid by the seller. The majority can be paid by the seller. It can be encompassed with your down payment and closing costs. That can all be together. And then your escrow for insurance and taxes. You're gonna have to pay up front. Well, no, not necessarily up front, but escrow and taxes are going to be put together. That's included in your closing costs. Okay, so don't have to necessarily worry about that as far as a separate maintenance or a separate item to save for, but you will have that coming out of your closing costs. So that's going to already be included. Okay. Number 2, you want to improve your credit score. So stay current on your bills. Don't make any major purchases. Don't cancel any credit cards because you need that revolving credit to actually build your credit score. And then remember that higher credit score equals a lower interest rate. So the higher your score is, the better your interest rate will be. And that will really help you as far as your payment wise, because you want to keep your payments low, right? So have a higher credit score, and that credit score will help you as far as your interest rate. It can bring it down. They can trust you better. You know what I'm saying? 3, you want to make sure that you get mortgage pre-approval. Calculate what you can afford. Shop for the best deal and choose primary and backup lenders. I will give you 3 lenders to choose from, unless you have your own. And you want to make sure that they will calculate what you can afford. You tell them what you want your payments to be about, but they'll calculate more in depth on what you can actually afford per month, versus what you're bringing in, versus your income, your household income. Okay. If you shop with a mortgage broker, which I am connected with a mortgage broker, so you don't necessarily have to go and pull your credit 3 different times. You're not going to do that. If you shop with a mortgage broker, they can actually shop the rates for you and get you the best deal for you. Okay. Choose a realtor. Number 4, choose a realtor. Do your research, ask for referrals, and go with someone that you trust. Okay. Someone that's going to give it to you straight. Okay. Keep it 100 with you. All right. Number 5, you want to decide what you want in a home. Go ahead and complete your dream home checklist from me. And then this sheet helps you decide what items are important to have in your new home. So we want to know your wants and your needs, right? But remember, 2 different things, wants and needs. Something that you have to have, those are your needs. Something that you just want to have, those are your wants. Something that you can actually live without. Or if it's not in the house, you can actually put that in the house. So remember that, okay? Number 6, visit homes. Take photos to reference later. Make notes on items needing attention. So when we start looking at houses or whatever, I can give you the pictures of the home, right? But I want you to take notes on a piece of paper that I'm going to give you. That's going to write down. You can write down everything about the house that you like and what you didn't like. It's kind of going to help you to remember. It will help you to remember what that house was about once we leave, because we may see 3 to 5 homes and you be all confused. We don't want that at all. That's when my max is usually like 3 to 5. We want to narrow it down, because otherwise, if you start looking at thousands of houses, it's all going to blur together, and then it won't be clear. Okay, you'll start to forget and all that, and then you'll start to get confused, and we don't need to do that. Narrow your choices. That's number 7. You're going to visit a neighborhood during the day and at night to gauge the traffic, the noise, and other conditions, and you're going to test the commute from your job to the house. Can you deal with that? And consider the resale value of the home. If you want something that you're going to probably make money off of, consider that as well. How would this be as far as if I were to sell, if I bought this house, I lived in it for 3 to 5 years, and then I sold it, would it appreciate or would it depreciate? You can pretty much tell by the neighborhood and what the house is used to cost. In fact, if it's a pre-existing home, I have the ability to tell you what the house was paid for before and versus what they're asking now, what it's worth now. That way you can kind of gauge as far as like the value, the resale value, kind of like. Then we're going to number 8, make an offer. We're going to do common contingency cost opt-outs. They include if the home appraisal is for less than the mortgage, if the inspection reveals flaws that owners won't fix, and if you lose your job before the deal closes. Those are contingencies that will actually stop us from going forward with the home purchase, and that way we can actually opt out of the home purchase. We can back out due to those things right there. The appraisal, the inspection, and if you lose your job, loss of income. We obviously cannot do the house if we have no income, correct? So, number 9, we're going to schedule a home inspection. We're going to make sure that everything checks out or is acceptable condition, because I don't want you buying a lemon. We ain't doing that. I want you to get a house that is a home, right? And I want it to be up to par to your standards, right? And up to code, right? We're not going to get us some dungeon. We're not doing that either. We're going to get a house, get it thoroughly inspected, whether it's new or a pre-existing home. I recommend getting an inspection on a new home, newly built home, and a pre-existing home, because again, human hands made those homes. Human hands have flaws, right? So when they're building, right? So we want to make sure that the house is good to go and that we can actually move forward. This is when we're going to do our final walkthrough. This is number 10. Verify that all agreed upon repairs have been made and that there are no new issues, right? So once we do our home inspection, we're going to write a list to the seller and say, hey, I need you to fix these things for me, right? And I need you to fix these things before we close, okay? Or I can't close with you. That's all right, okay? You can do it on a new home and a pre-existing home. So you want to do that final walkthrough and make sure that everything is correct. And then number 11, we're going to close and move in. You've reached the finish line. And so now it's time to make this house into a home. And that's what we're going to be doing. That's our goal, okay? Those are the home buyer to-do list top number 11 tips that I have for you today in today's short little video. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you are interested and you are ready to get started, you can always contact me. My information will be down below. And you can call, email, text, whatever. Inbox me. You can comment down below. Tell me what you think about this video. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe and share Hot New Homes DFW. And as always, I am always here to answer any of your questions. If you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comment section below, and I will answer them in the next video on part number 3. Y'all have a great day. Bye now.